Welcome, everybody. It's Lovin and Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm your host, Sherman Ray. It is finally Friday. Yay! Um, Thank you, everybody, for everybody being a part of the show today. I want to make sure everything is working. What I noticed yesterday is that I was getting a cold. So some of you know what that's like. You start catching a cold and you just start thinking to yourself, "Oh my gosh, I'm just dying here," and I was. So and I am, and I do have it. So there are going to be people who are going to be very upset at me today, who are going to be saying, "Hey, Sherm, I thought we were going to be meeting or something like that." It's not going to happen. You don't want this. You just don't. It's not COVID. I'm completely vaxxed, all that good stuff. But I do have a granddaughter, and I've got a daughter who I see regularly, and they both were sick. I think I caught it, so I'm not just probably not going to be meeting anybody for the next couple of days. But that doesn't prevent me from being with you this morning for Lovin' and Livin' in Vegas because we're doing it online here. Um, so for some reason we are not online for some reason though. Let's find out why. Excuse me. Um, so for some reason we are not here. I'm double checking, folks, is what I'm doing. So for those of you who are watching us on our Facebook page, you're probably seeing us. But I want to make sure we're actually on our group page because if not, that makes it really tough for people who just want to see us. All right, give me 1 second here, folks, and I want to make sure we're actually up and live. So we have to. So what happens? We have to make sure that we're actually played on all of our different stations. Because I know we're on our Facebook page, but I want to make sure So what I'm going to do? So excuse me. So if some of you folks are watching us, I'm going to share this video with our group page because if not, people will be very upset at it, and I want to make sure it's up there. So just give me 1 second here, and we will get the show started. And I'm going to share. It looks like somebody's already sharing this to another page here. So I'm going to share it to our group page. There we go. So it's supposed to be that way all the time, but it just didn't do that. Excuse me. So now I'm going to go back over to our group page for those of you, because that's really where I do any of my commenting and stuff like that. I generally do it on our group page. And so for those of you who are watching us on our regular business page, I'm generally on our group page to do any kind of commenting on anything like that, just because people love it. They love seeing us on that page. And oh, it is there. So what happened is it was already on the page. I just didn't see it. Okay, so we got some stuff to do today. And part of what we're going to be doing today, we're going to talk a little bit about the Raiders. We're also going to be talking about a Hall of Famer here in Las Vegas. Somebody who many of you probably didn't know about, and her name is Roberta, and so we're going to talk a little bit about her. But before we do any of that, I want to introduce myself. I'm Sherman Ray. I'm the publisher of Lovin and Livin in Vegas magazine. By the way, it's actually coming out here in another couple of weeks. I know things are going so quick. I mean, just so quick here. And so I'm going to get rid of that page. Let's remove this post. There we go. We'll just get rid of that post because, there's no reason to have two of me sitting there. Okay, there we go. Um, so, uh, so, so the magazine's coming out in just a couple of weeks. We are down to crunch time, folks. I've been contacting people, which is very cool. We've got some really neat people who have been saying, "Yeah, sure, we want to be a part of the magazine," and it's coming out January of 2022. They want to be a part of the event that we're going to be that we're going to be a part of for Love and Living in Vegas. And I'm going to turn down the sound on that too because we don't want that happening. If you still feel like you want to be a part of the magazine, you want to be a part of the magazine, or you want to be an advertiser, we want to encourage you to be a part of what we're doing. I'm getting so excited about 2022. We've been waiting and waiting and waiting just to get things done, just so we can start reaching out to business owners and having them be a part of everything else. But all you have to do is send me an email. Send me an email at info@lovinandlivininvegas.com. It's info@lovinandlivininvegas.com. And we will contact you to talk to you about being a part of the magazine. If you want to do an article, which is really, we can actually do that. We can still do the article as long as as long as you're all cool with it and everything else, and we can do some editing on minimal editing. We can still get it in the publication. Also, if you'd like to be an advertiser, don't that's probably going to be even harder, but we can do that. So don't forget info@lovinandlivininvegas.com, and we will get you to be a part of it. Lastly, we have got an event that we're going to be doing, and it's called the first annual Las Vegas Whiskey and Whiskers Festival. Okay, and we'll be starting to talk about that a little bit more, just because. And the only reason why we've not mentioned this as a flyer is because we're trying to nail down the location. That's really the biggest issue. We do have a location that we wanted to do, but we wanted to be a little classier. So we figure something that's going to be a little cooler for all of our folks. So we're moving around the locations, and once we do that, we will let you know about the location. But if you've got whiskers, hair on your face, we encouraged all the guys, if you're grown, and women, we can do that, right? Yeah, we can do that. We can tell the women if you have facial hair, women, and some women have that, right? This is 2021 now. Women with facial hair. Okay. Don't get a lot of dates, but no, I shouldn't have said that. But you can also be a part of the Whiskey and Whiskers event. And once again, once we get the exact location, we'll let everybody know about it, and it'll be fun. Okay. So, anyways, let's talk a little bit, folks. Enough of that stuff, right? Let's talk a little bit about. Oh yeah. So let's talk about wedding chapels. Okay. So the wedding chapels here in Las Vegas are doing some really cool things. Las Vegas Wedding Chapel celebrates December palindrome dates. What the heck does that mean? Okay. The Little Vegas Chapel is celebrating numerically significant palindrome dates in December with holiday-themed packages. Now, this is cool. So many of you, and some of you folks who have been trying to get your weddings on, probably know what we're talking about here. Palindrome. Palindrome dates are considered lucky days. Okay? This is what it is, lucky days. Like my birthday. That was a very lucky day for my parents. And yeah, I know. And for my wife. Not so much for my kids, but for my wife, my parents, yes. There are a total of 38 palindrome dates taking place in the 21st century. Okay? 38. Okay? So for those of you who don't know what those dates might be, that would be like 12/1/21. Okay? 12th month, first day, 2021. Okay? Or 12/9, or actually 12/1/21 through 12/9/21. Okay? Couples can choose from 9 different unique wedding packages for their big day, honoring the 9 consecutive palindrome dates. Very cool, right? 12/1, 12/2, 21. Get it? So there's some cool dates that are in there. So 8 of the holiday packages offered during these days are titled "All I Want for Christmas Is You." Okay, naughty and nice. How about "Jingle Down the Aisle"? Okay, "The Gift of Forever," "Santa Baby," and so on and so forth. The prices range from about $75 to about $777. Of course, 777, right? You get that. The 9 packages, you can have Elvis and his pink Cadillac. This is very, very cool, isn't it? So some of you may not have known what a palindrome is, but that's what it is. It's a lucky date. Like your birthday would be a palindrome to your spouse or your significant other. I'm going to put that question up in here. How many of you knew? And so I haven't done this all week long, folks. And for those of you, this might be the first time you're listening to me. If I sound nasally, it's because I have a cold. No, I do not have COVID, folks. I am fully vaxxed. I don't have a breakthrough case. Actually, I've got family members who got sick, and it's a cold. It's just a regular cold because they actually got checked too. So I'm going to ask a question um, because I already mentioned this. How many palindrome? I'm spelling this out. Palindrome dates are there in the 21st century? Okay. Now I just mentioned this, so if you were listening to me, you know what this is. Okay, you already know what the answer to this is. Palindrome dates in the century. Okay. So let's talk about who is this? This is Vanessa. Her name is Vanessa Vanessa Hudgens. Okay. So what is so profound about Vanessa Hudgens? Well, Vanessa Hudgens is going to be performing the national anthem at the Raiders game against the Washington football team this Sunday. Okay, wow, this is pretty cool. Okay, so Vanessa, for those of you who don't know who she is, she's actually done a lot of stuff. Actress, singer, will perform the national anthem December 5th against Washington. Hudgens is known for screen roles in films like High School Musical, Princess Switch series. She's also recorded 2 studio albums of V and Identified, and she's also sang the national anthem at the Phoenix Suns game during the NBA Finals earlier in the year. So very cool. We've actually had quite a few people here in Vegas to sing or the Star Spangled Banner. And people like, and I saw this. I saw Maria Osmond do it. I saw Gladys Knight sing. I did not see Yolanda Adams sing. Tanisha, Tinesh, Brian Flores, who is the grandson of the legendary Tom Flores, who is a Raider, just legend. Okay, so the game starts about 1 o'clock, 1:05, and we want to give you some advice on this. So I'm going to stop real quick. So, because we were going to go back and talk about the Raiders game anyways, but the Raiders are playing this Sunday, okay, against Washington, the football team. Game starts at 1. If you want to have a fun time, okay, and I've got friends who are going to be going to the game. My friend Tony Villalobos, good friend of mine. Tony does, what do they call it? Oh gosh, tailgating. Couldn't remember the name of it. So the smartest thing for you to do is to tailgate. Tailgate. This is going to become a tailgate capital of the world. So we encourage you, don't wait till 12 o'clock to go to the game and hope you're going to get in there by 1, because you're not. There's just no way you're going to do it. It's just because it gets backed up in there. We've talked about the parking problem down there at Allegiant Stadium, or what they call the Death Star. But it is no joke, and it's going to be, the Washington football team is going to be a big game, just like the Dallas Cowboy game was a huge game for Thanksgiving, probably one of the biggest, or actually the Kansas City game. Kansas City game was like a huge game. So we encourage you folks, if you're going to go down to the game, and I'm going to ask you a question on that. I'll ask you a question. How many of you folks actually, how many of you are going? How many are going to the Raiders game? Okay, sorry. Excuse me. I should have a thing to turn off the mute button. So how many of you are actually going to the Raiders game this weekend? Once again, there are a few. I'll give you some tips on how to get in and out of the Raider game with minimal amount of headache. One, you could Uber, okay, which is probably the smartest move. Number 2, there's actually a bus that leaves, I think they leave the M Casino, and they drive down there, and they actually have a straight path, straight to the game. They'll drop you off at the front, and then you can drive back, okay? That's probably the best of the two choices. Number 3, you could tailgate. And tailgate means basically you get there hours beforehand, spend the whole day there. I mean, just spend the entire day there on a Sunday. Yes, you're going to miss church, but it's all right. You can miss church once in a blue moon to go to a Raiders game. But you can go to the game that way. But do not wait for the last second to go to a Raiders game, okay? Because you're not going to get in. That's all there is to it. I just want to let you know that you're just not going to get in. This lady right here, her name is Roberta. So Roberta, excuse me, Roberta Kane. Roberta Kane is Las Vegas's first known Jewish native. I know, isn't that cool? So yeah, she's a first known Jewish native. Her name is Roberta Bobby Kane, and I'll leave her picture up there for just a second. She's writing a memoir, she's jogging her memory banks. She had a tailor shop, or her uncle did, I guess, had a tailor shop over there on Fremont Street. The only child was 4 or 5 at the time and recalls being spoiled with gifts. Very nice. She also remembers the magic of spinning the dreidel, okay, which is part of the Hanukkah tradition. You do the dreidels, you spin the dreidels. They're generally made out of clay, but now I guess nowadays dreidels are made out of whatever they can make it out of, plastic or whatever. According to Jewish Nevada's latest numbers, there are about 70,000 Jewish people who live in southern Nevada. But when Kane, then Roberta Gordon, was born on November 28th of 1932, okay, so she's still pretty young, she was hailed as the first known Jewish child born in Las Vegas. Isn't that cool? Yeah. How would you like to live your life knowing that you are the first? I mean, you are the one who, your parents brought you there, of course, but you were the first child of your line born in Las Vegas. As a matter of fact, I have I'm thinking he's my ancestor, and I'm trying to remember the guy's name. Oh, shoot. His name is Ray, too. It's Clement Ray, I think, something like that. Anyways, and excuse me, folks, I really apologize for my voice. I do have a cold, but you won't get it because unless it goes through the microphone and stuff like that, you won't get it. His name is Ray also, and he came here as a part of the first wave of people who came here to build the dam. And I'm doing some research on it because it can't be, there's not too many Rays, especially at that time. We're talking about in the 20s, okay, when he came here. During the Depression, everything else was going downhill. We were building the Hoover Dam. He came here and died not that long ago, less than 20 years ago he died. And so I'm going to do some research on it to find if my family line, probably on my dad's side, because he was a Ray, my other side's Jamaican, so they weren't here. But I think we have roots here too, and I'll have to reach out to some of the family members that are here because they do remember him, and we'll have to find out. Karen's parents, who are Meyer Gordon and Sally Shore Gordon, had moved to town in 1931. Gambling was legalized, and construction had begun on what now is known as the Hoover Dam, what we just talked about. The family lived in the heart of today's downtown core. First along was now the Las Vegas Boulevard and Bonneville Street. So that's where she lived, really down there in that old section of town. So she's publishing her memoirs. It's called Las Vegas Born and Raised. A young woman embraces life's adventures. Okay, so I'm looking forward to this. I'd like to get this book. I'd love to talk to her about wow, about what she went through, all this stuff that kind of, because in those days there was no Jewish synagogues, there was none of that stuff, but she was a part of that. Now there are like 25 Jewish synagogues in town, but she said when she grew up there was no real meeting place. None of that happened, so it's very cool. Wow, so they would actually meet at the Elks Club. Okay, very cool. So the Elks Hall here in Vegas actually has a very storied past, which is cool. Let's talk a little bit about the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Oh, that's right in front of my face. I can't believe that. I'm gonna move that. I'm gonna make that a little smaller and move it down a little bit. There we go. So the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Um, we got honored here, folks. This is cool. So the Las Vegas Motor Speedway was named, got a one of the best motor speedways in the nation. This is very cool. Las Vegas Motor Speedway was chosen as Speedway of the Year from among 8 state-of-the-art speedway motorsports entertainment complexes. Yes, the award is presented to Las Vegas for the best overall performance during the 21 season, such aspects as fan friendliness, attendance, financial performance, sponsor relations, and creativity. I want to point out something to you folks, is that Vegas is the bad boy. We so we rank number 1 in so many things that it's not even close. Um, for a city of our size, for a population of our size, we have more entertainers, churches, this, that, and the other thing. And now we might get a baseball team, the Oakland A's. Yes, we might get the Oakland A's, which will put us over the top. I mean, all we'll need is a basketball team, and then really there's no reason why people should even go anyplace else. Ever. Ever. Okay? They should never go anyplace else because we have everything you need here. We have skiing, we have boating, we have hiking, we've got everything. Okay? We've got cycling, we've got mountains. So if you guys want to go cycling, I know I do it all the time. I didn't do it today because once again, I got sick yesterday. So I got my ride in yesterday, and I got sick like right afterwards. We have hockey, we have baseball, or excuse me, we've got our minor league baseball, which are great. So the Aviators. We've got football and the Raiders. We've got everything you need. Plus, we have a casino strip area, shows, everything else. What we really need is we need a bigger theater. So we need a bigger theater scene. Okay, but we have a lot of little theaters. As a matter of fact, if you've got a small theater, and I'm going to post this on our Facebook page also too. And I want you to forgive me, folks, because I'm typing here. But if you have, and I'm going to move this a little bit. So if you have a theater, especially a smaller theater, please message me. Okay. If you have a theater, because we've got people who really, we do a lot of stuff that is off the strip. Okay. So the only way I'm going to know about it is if you tell me. And I know there's a lot of stuff in the Arts District. And there's the Cockroach, place. There's probably 4 or 5. But in New York, there's literally like 100 little theaters. Okay. We want that here in Vegas. Because guess what? We've got such a, we've got the strip. We have larger venues where people can actually play it. So, but we need a place for all these people to play at. Okay. So congratulations to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway for doing all the cool stuff that they do. And, we just want to thank you. Let's talk a little bit about Brittany Spears because everybody loves Brittany Spears. Where'd she go? Okay, let's go back to Brittany. Okay, so Brittany Spears. Yes, she is Brittany. Okay, so Brittany Spears, many of you know, she was just emancipated. I hate to say that about a 40-year-old woman, but she basically just got back her own wings, and yesterday she turned 40. So yesterday Britney Spears turned 40. Does she look great? She looks delightful, doesn't she? That's what happens when you get your freedom back. So Britney turned 40 yesterday, December 2nd, and she was celebrating her 40th anniversary, listening to all your favorite hits. We're going to post some of these on our face. We'll post the links to them so you can actually listen to some of your stuff like, baby, baby. She does, I'm not that innocent. I know a lot of Britney Spears. I loved Britney Spears since she was a little kid. Watched her grow up, and I think she's done some great things in her life. Yeah, so in celebration of her 40th, she took to Instagram, showed off some of her favorite fashion-forward looks with an array of outfits that she modeled via Instagram Reels. So that's very cool. Fashion and festivities. Guess what? My birthday is coming soon, Spears captioned in the video, which was garnered more than 500,000 likes. She's awesome. She's just an awesome chick. I shouldn't say chick. Babe. And so thank you so much, Brittany, for being you and for celebrating your birthday. And we hope you have 40 more. Okay. So, yeah, thank you so much, Brittany. You've done so many great things in life. Um, there are the Clydesdales, folks. If you want to take photos of the world famous Clydesdales, you can do that today. Okay, today on the strip, the Clydesdales are going to be down there. I want to make sure I got that story in. Okay, um, if you are like me, you think these horses are just the greatest in the world, and you might drink Budweiser beer also. But the Clydesdales are going to be on the strip. The world famous Clydesdales will make an appearance at South Porticashire. Gosh, I've never seen the word. I used to be in construction. I've never seen the word Porticashire written out the way it is at the Resorts World from 1 to 2 p.m. Okay, excuse me. So you do have time. It's almost 9 o'clock right now, so you have time to get down to Resorts World, get your pictures taken with the Clydesdales. Isn't that be fun? Well, of course it would be. Um, Guess we'll have a chance to interact, take photos, and it's a free event. You do have to be. Oh, you get, and for you, if you're over 21, free beer. Oh yeah, free beer samples. If you're, that's what I. Are you kidding me? You don't want any of my friends hearing about this. Okay, so you can go down to the South, the M Resort, Resorts World. Get a picture at the South Porticashire and get free beer samples as you're rubbing on a Clydesdale horse. Folks, yes, I'm a kid at heart. I am a kid at heart. I can't help it. I think that would be the most fun thing to do in the world. I really do. So many other things. We just don't have time for it, folks. Guys, be praying for me because I got this cold. I just got it yesterday, and I'm a big baby when it comes to colds. I really am. I'm not going to even lie to you. I will probably jump into the bed right after I do some uploading here of the show, and we'll do some stuff online. Um, but be praying for me to make it back Monday for the show on Monday. We're taking the weekend off. We might post something here or there. Be looking on our Instagram page. If you're watching us on YouTube, please, please, please subscribe to our YouTube channel right there. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we just want to stay in touch with you. We've got some cool things that are coming up in the next couple of weeks we want to be able to tell you all about. But we can't do it unless you're watching, you're sharing all of our videos with all of your friends about some of the cool things that we're doing at Lovin and Livin in Vegas. Folks, once again, I just want to thank you all for being a part of the show today. I'm Sherman Ray. I'm your host, and love you so much for being a part of the show, folks. I gotta get out of here because if I don't, I'm gonna die. We'll see you Monday, 8:30 for Lovin and Livin in Vegas. This has been Sherman Ray once again. We'll talk to you soon, folks. Bye-bye.